Okay, in this video, we're going to set up the actual microblogging guts of the thing. Now, if we were to go here and visit the site right now, we're going to see the base WordPress install using the most current theme. Okay, so this is what you're seeing here. All we need to do is go and get rid of all this stuff. So we're going to go into posts and all posts, and we're going to trash this post. Okay, and then we're going to go into pages, all pages, and we're going to trash the page that's in here. And then comments, there really shouldn't be anything in here because the post was deleted, and there's not, okay? Now, what we need to do next is go back up to posts, and then we want to go to categories. Now here we want to set up the categories that we're going to have in our microblog. Now, you don't have to do this at the very beginning, but you should have at least one category set up here. So I'm going to say general discussion. And then we're going to have, say, pictures. You can organize this any way you want. I'm just putting some examples in. Latest news. Okay, and we can add more later on, but I just want you to get the idea here. All right, now what we need to do next is go to Appearance and Themes. Now, we want to go and add new. And then in the search here, we want to put in P2. Okay, and then you want to roll down to see P2 category, and you want to install. And you want to activate. Okay, now let's go have a look at our site. Okay, and here we go. We now have our guts of our site up. We have the microblogging part here, and any posts will appear down here, and we'll get to that in a minute. On the side here, of course, this is our widgets. Okay, so let's go back here, and then let's go to widgets. And you can set this up the way you want here. So I'm going to leave search on there. I'm going to take off recent posts, archives, recent comments, and meta. And I'm just going to leave categories on there. Okay, now you could put back on the comments and the posts. Might actually, maybe we'll put the recent post back on there. Actually, I'm going to put the archives back on there. Okay, and save. Now there's no log in or log out here anymore when you get to this page. So what we want to do is we're going to add a plugin called Custom Meta. I forgot about that one. So down to plugins and add new. And custom meta. Okay, and we want to install. And we want to activate. All right, now we want to go back to appearance and we want to go back to widgets. And then we want to put custom meta in there. Okay, now show registration and site admin and show login, logout. Okay, save. All right, now let's go have a look at our page now. So visit site. Okay, so we have categories, archives, and meta. Now we could change the heading for meta. Let's go back and do that. And we'll just put in here welcome or whatever text you want it to be above there. Visit. Okay, and there we go. Okay, now just to show you how this works, you pick a category up here. So let's say general discussion. And then here you can pick whether it's a status update, a blog post, a quote, or a link. So I'll just say hi there. And then we can tag it. So we can use any tags we want. So let's say welcome. Now that's another thing we could put on is the tag cloud. So I'm going to post it. Now you'll see down here that the post is down here and there's a reply. Okay, so this is how people reply to any of the posts that are down here. Okay, so now let's go back to widgets and let's put the tag cloud in there. Okay, so down here, there's our tag cloud. Let's put that under archives here. And it defaults to tags. Let's just say tag cloud. So what that'll do is it will put all the tags we use in the whole blog on there as we use them, and they will get bigger the more we use a single word. So the bigger the word and the more highlighted it is, the more times it's been used. Okay, so you'll see there's our archives. Here's our categories that have been used. There's our tag, and there's our site admin. Okay, so let's go now and modify the site. So you have this thing up here called My Microblog. We're going to change the header. Maybe we'll change the background here. So let's go over here and let's go to customize. Okay, so site title and tagline. We're going to want to turn off the display. Okay, now let's go to colors. And we can change the background color here. Now you can put in your color as a code, or you can select one from here. I'll just do that for now. Okay, header image. Now this is something you might want to do. You can add an image to your microblog to make it unique. Okay, so what you would do is create a 980 by 120 image of your header, your logo, or what have you. You put your logo in the middle of it, of the 980 by 120, and it'll show up in the center here. Okay, so I'm going to add one that I just created here. I can go into my working files here and drag over the header image I made quickly here. Okay, so we'll put that in there. Crop. Okay, so there it is. Now you can have a background image here. I put in a background color, but if you want to put in a background image, then you can do that as well. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, and now here is what our microblog looks like. It's all ready to go. Okay, so let's add a new user here and just show how the conversation works. So Okay, in this video, we're going to go over setting up the back end. This will involve setting up some plugins as well as changing some settings. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get some of the plugins that we need. So let's go over to Plugins and Add New. Now, depending on whether you want your microblog to be private or public, will depend on whether you want to use any SEO plugins to help it rank within the search engines. So if it's going to be private, then you don't need to bother putting any of these search engine plugins in here. If you are going to want it to rank, then you're going to want to put these in. So let's go over here to popular. And then what you want to do is you want to put in, just roll down here until we find all-in-one SEO pack. Okay, and then we'll install this one. Okay, I'm not going to activate this one for now and return a plugin installer. As I said, I'm going to show you how you can set it up private, so I don't really want to activate that one. It's easy, however, you can just take the defaults and it's good enough. Now we're going to install something for privacy. So if you want to make your microblog private, so just type in private here. Okay, and then you want this one called John Radio Private Site. So we'll install this one. And then we're going to return. I'm going to be activating that one manually as well as SEO pack so I can show you how they work. And then you can decide how you want it to install your blog. Okay, now the next one we want is something that will redirect logins to the front page. Normally when you log into WordPress, it's going to put them right at their profile page, and we want them to go to the front page when they log in. Okay, so we're going to go here to Login Redirect. Okay, and the one I like to use is called Peter's Login Redirect. So we'll install this one. And let's activate that one. Okay, now let's go back to Add New. And then we're going to go to Popular again. And now what we're going to do is look for the Google XML sitemap. Now again, this is only if you're going to have your site in the search engines. If you want it private, then you're not going to need to put this one in here. So here's Google XML sitemap. I'm going to install that one. Okay, there we are. So let's go to our plugin page here. Actually, that's not where I wanted to be. Just into plugins. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of this Hello Dolly one. So let's just delete that. It's just taking up space. And then what you want to do is activate Akismet. What this will do is it'll take care of any spam comments that people put into your site. So if you have a public site, this is going to be important that you activate this. Now, when you do, you have to put a key in here. Okay, so activate your Akismet account. Okay, and then you can either manually put the key in here or you can activate Akismet here by getting your key. Okay, so you're going to want to do that for a site that is not private. And maybe you want to do it for a private one too, depending on how your users get into there. If you invite them and set them up yourself, you probably don't need it. If you're allowing the general public to join, even though it's a private one, you may want to do this. So it depends how much you want to control your comments. Okay, now let's go back to plugins again. I'm not going to activate this for now, but you should activate it if you need to. Now let's go down to the private site and activate this. I'm going to show you the private site first just so you know how it works, and then I'm going to deactivate it. Okay, I better deactivate Akismet here, get rid of that notification. Okay, so now we want to go to settings, and then we want to go to private site. Okay, so what we just need to do is just click on this and it'll activate the plugin. Okay, now when we go down a little further here, whether you're allowing self-registration, okay, so do not block WordPress standard user registration page. And then this is available under settings as well, so anyone can register. A landing notification. Okay, so with this one, if we're using the private site, we don't need the login redirect because we can go to site home and it'll accomplish the same thing. But we do need it if we are leaving it public. Okay, or you can do a specific URL here. Okay, and then down further, we can have a custom login page if you want to create one. And you can have visible exclusions. So you can exclude content from being invisible here. Okay, so let's save the changes. All right, now I'm going to log out. Okay, now I'm going to return to the site. So this is me trying to access it. And you'll see that I can no longer get to the site unless I'm logged in. So let's log in. Okay, and you see that it took me right to the home page here, which is what we wanted it to do. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard. And I'm going to go to plugins, and now I'm going to deactivate that plugin. I just wanted to show you how it worked. So let's deactivate. Okay, so now our site is public, so we can go into the all-in-one SEO pack and activate this. And the Google XML sitemap and activate that. Okay, now we want to go to the all-in-one SEO pack, general settings. Okay, and then you can go down and change any of these that you want. You can keep them at the defaults. The only thing you might want to do is put in your home description and home keywords here. And then down here, what you can do is, if you want, you can take this pipe out of here. You have page title / blog title. So you can take this back end part off if you want to. Otherwise, you don't really need to do anything with it, and you can leave the options as they are if you like. Okay, now the Google XML sitemap looks after itself. Now the next thing we want to do is go to settings and login redirect. Okay, now what we want to do is do this by role. So we're going to go to subscriber. Okay, and then you want to put the URL to the home page in here, which is your domain name / your folder name, or just your domain name if you didn't put it in a folder. Okay, so that's going to take them directly to the front page when they log in. So we can add the rule. All right, and that's all we have to do. So let's just update. And that's it. Now the next thing we want to do is go and change some settings. So down here under settings, we're going to go to general first. Okay, now in here, we have, as usual, a spelling mistake, so my microblog, and just another WordPress site. You're going to want to change this to something that makes sense. Okay, and then down here, anyone can register. We've already done that, and you can set your time zone here if you want. Okay, this is just so that it matches up to where you are. Okay, and then your date formats down here, and we'll save. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is go down to discussion. And what you want to do is turn off this link notifications and make sure allow people to post comments on new articles is turned on. Now, comment author must fill out name and email. You can turn that off unless you're not requiring registration. I suggest you require registration on your site for them to participate. Users must be registered and logged in to comment. Check that one. Okay, let's see, enable threaded. You can decide on that one there. And then down here, if you want to be notified, we don't. Okay, and then down here, whether it needs to be held for moderation or if they must have a previous one approved, you can turn all this off. And then you can put in any filtering for blacklist words down here. Okay, and then we'll just save those changes. Okay, so it's important you have the discussion turned on or the whole microblogging part doesn't work. Okay, and then let's go down to permalinks. And then we're going to go down and we're going to put post name here and save. Okay, at this point, we have everything set up that we need set up. In the next video, we're going to go through actually preparing our blog here for use. Okay, in this video, we're going to go through the process of setting up WordPress. WordPress is going to power our microblogging network, and why not? It's the most powerful blogging platform that you can use, and it's free. We're just going to be tweaking it a little bit to get it to do what we want. Okay, so if you already know how to install WordPress, you can skip this video because that's all we're doing in this video. We'll pick up after the install in the next video. Okay, so what we do is you go to wordpress.org and then you want to go and download the most recent version, which you will find down over here. Okay, and then we're just going to download the zip file and we'll save it. Okay, so I put it into a folder called microblog so I can keep all my work together. Now I'm going to unzip this. I use 7-zip, which you can download for free. You can also just use extract all that's built into Windows. 7 In this video series, I'm going to show you how you can set up your own Twitter-like microblogging platform. Twitter is the most popular microblogging platform, of course. It attracts a wide range of people and businesses. And it's good because it's the brevity of it. You can make quick comments about anything, make quick posts, put your pictures in, and so on. Now, you may want to make your own microblogging network so that you can concentrate on one area of interest or business. So it's really good for anybody. If you have a hobby, for instance, you could make a microblog about your hobby and have other people to participate. If you are a business, you could set up a microblog just for your business, make it private, and then people within the business can communicate through the microblog and it's there for everybody to see. Okay, so in this video series, we're going to go through how you set that up for free. Of course, you're going to need web hosting and a domain name to put it on, but we're going to be using free tools other than that. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to start getting things set up.